And we're up. Got 2 people watching already, which is extremely exciting. Hi. Hey guys. Yep, as always, beautiful people, hello. Thanks for joining us this Friday night. It's 8 p.m. in Moscow and in the surroundings. As always, let's just wait for more people to join in so that we don't start too early and give everyone else a chance. But it's great to be with you. And thanks so much for finding the time to chill with us. It makes my Fridays extremely special. So thanks for being with us here. Don't forget about the chat and make sure that you make yourselves present. A big hello to our producer Rajan. She's with us today. She will be the person answering your comments real time in the chat section, but also keeping an eye on the best of them and sending those over to me so that I can later, as we always do here, answer and comment on what you left in the comments section. So just keeping things interactive. Maybe you don't need my hand as close as that to your noses. How are you guys? How are things going for you? I can hear my daughter. I think she's going to run into the room any minute now. But yeah, anyway, we are going to take it easy today. We've got a fun subject to discuss. As always, we're going to start with a quick dose of current affairs. Then I'm going to read out some comments that you left to our previous stream and make sure that all of those are noticed as well. And after that, we're going to get to the point and talk about grooming in Russia. I have something to say about that. Done, I'm going to chat with you, so do make sure that you use the comment section and leave some interesting and fun comments and ask me questions, ask Ayjan questions. She basically is the person who prepared this topic, as she always does, because she's the producer, she's the brains behind all of this. So she will have something to say and she will send you valuable links, etc. So very grateful that she's with us. But yeah, let's start with the current affairs. Very, very quickly, very shortly, I'm going to tell you that as of today, within the past 24 hours, we've got 8,126 new cases of coronavirus registered here in the whole of Russia, not just Moscow. And which means that it's a sort of plateau and many companies have reopened for business already. Not our offices, we're still closed and working from home. But yeah, it feels like gradually stores are reopening and talk is on among people I know about summer vacations. So we're still looking forward to those here in Russia. And it's a big thing though. I mean, we're kind of laughing, but also not, because here's my stance on all of this. Lockdown's going to end, Corona's going to end, and summer's going to end very soon in mid-September for all of us here in Russia. And we're going to be, again, faced with a terribly long winter. So, and I'll be honest with you, this hasn't exactly been a holiday, what we're facing on lockdown. So I understand why people are talking about summer vacation, okay? Now, I wanted to get to some of the comments that you left last time, because they were brilliant, and I really want to make sure that they're honored and noticed, all right? Tixocracy, really well done, well thought out, thank you, I love this. I'll be sending it to Russian friends to get their feedback. Thanks so much, this really means a lot to us. The more you share, the easier it is for us to get more content out for you. So the more views and likes we get, the better for all of us, for you and us. So that's really nice. Martin Adams, very well expressed and thought through. This is a fascinating topic. hang on, this is a fascinating topic. This is just like a small portion of this large comment that Martin Adams left. And I would like to thank Martin for doing so, because I know that Aijan worked really hard on that topic. It was extremely amazing for me to research, and I did some follow-up reading as well, because I'm intrigued myself. Like, I don't understand myself, so it's something that I guess I'm going to spend a lifetime working through. And I had a long chat with my dad about it, which was also really eye-opening. You know, it's interesting, like, he's 65 plus, so it's interesting to see what a person of his age and his life experience feels about all of this, given the sort of the blood mix that runs through my veins, etc. So I'm really grateful that we actually covered this. So, and thanks for the comments. Cody Bennett. Hey Anna, thank you for all the thought-provoking videos. My girlfriend who's Russian enjoyed your video on Russian humor and spent some time telling her favorite jokes to me. Of course, some of them I got and other ones I didn't, but it was fun to see how humor is different in a different culture. It is. I'm really happy, Cody, that you understood some of them, because that means like you actually get it. And I've said this before as well, like you know you speak a foreign language when you understand the humor and when you can joke yourself. So that's really valuable. Yeah, that one I enjoyed myself a lot. I think we've been actually blessed with some amazing topics in the past month, haven't we? NZ. Whoops. And I'm translating this one because this one is in Russian. My repost was really popular with viewers. Yes, more shares, more likes, more reposts, more click the bells, etc. Because like the more action we're getting on the web page, the better it is for us to put more information through to you. Trevor S., I have a vague feeling that you got an idea to do this video after watching the new Hulu series, The Great. Speaking of which, any chance you'll cover that series like you did with HBO's Catherine the Great? Even though it's meant to be comedy, we will. Next week, next Friday, next stream, that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, all of you already know that my internet here is crap. So unfortunately, I can't stream and watch it myself, but I did watch a trailer to that because I had numerous comments on my Instagram page with people I don't actually know to some people that I know very well, including my ex-husband, for example, saying that I look exactly like the actress who plays Catherine the Great in that exact role. So Catherine in the Hulu series, The Great, is basically me. I had a look at the trailer because I was creeped out. I was like, and it's always weird because I don't see myself as a separate person and a separate entity. So I was like, no, come on, no, this doesn't look like me. But I was flattered as well because she's beautiful, smart, and funny, and that's what I aspire to be. So I'm looking forward to next Friday, except next Friday, it's going to happen next Thursday. I wanted you guys to know this because Friday is apparently a state holiday. And yeah, we will be streaming on Thursday next week. So, and that's going to be our topic. Exciting, no? Our bear video is out. Have you seen it? What do you think? If you haven't seen it yet, after this stream is over, check out our page and have a look at the video and let us know what you think about it. And yeah, if you've seen it, be honest. Right, let's get to our topic du jour and talk about beauty in Russia. It's an interesting subject, and I'm actually excited that this time, because I've spoken about this so many times, and I remember like doing it 10, 15 years ago and feeling really embarrassed. Well, now I'm not. Finally, I feel on par with my fellow Russian women that we're on the same page concerning our beauty routines. So that's exciting. And I've traveled enough, and I mean, I will be talking about beauty routines for women because I'm a woman and I know more about this, but keep in mind that it's quite universal for Russian men as well. Not all of them, but yeah, I think Russian men enjoy a bit of grooming these days too. So, uh, uh, as humans go, it's actually really normal for us to care about how we look, and we want to look good. We want to be presentable because we want to mate and procreate, etc. So there's nothing shameful about it. However, Russian women do tend to have a bit of a reputation for putting a little too much makeup on, overdressing, yada yada. But I wanted to talk to you today about this and bring the question up on whether this stereotype is actually still relevant. We're going to go through an article that Russia Beyond published 10 years ago, get this, on the very same subject. And it's really good because it's foreign women giving their opinions on Russian women. And it's really down to the point, and I think it perfectly describes the situation that we all lived in here, but 10 years ago. And I'm going to say what's still relevant and what's a thing of the past and shouldn't be, what's a thing of the past and should be forgotten. Like, lay off it. This is not what Russian women are like anymore. So this is a comment from a 29-year-old managing director of an Italian magazine. And this is what she says. 4 years ago, when I first came to Russia, I was literally stunned by how Russian women look in a positive sense. Russian women do take care of themselves. There's a big difference between young and mature women. The latter care much less about their appearance. Many older women don't take care of their skin and figure, and they dye hair in strange colors. In Italy, it's vice versa. Women over 40 look much more well-groomed than younger women. What I don't understand is why women here do not wax their upper lip. Another strange thing is that some of my Russian friends wash their hair every single day, insisting that this is the right thing to do. But this is wrong and even bad for your hair. Then many Russian women have a weakness for heavy foundation and face powder, which makes their faces look like masks. Russian women also use too much perfume, but we have this problem in Italy too. At the same time, Moscow is a paradise for hands. I cannot live without my Moscow manicure. There's so much better than in Italy. Perhaps it's because of the climate. It's cold and dirty in Moscow for much of the year, so your hands need constant care. The only thing I can't comprehend is the popularity of fake nails. How do you clean with them? And how do you do any work with your hands in general? It's a great comment, and it's also amazing to comment on because, for example, I totally agree that 10 years ago, even 15, maybe 15, 20 years ago, it was really weird because it was like you arrive in Russia and you see all of these beautiful girls with beautiful, stunning figures, great hair, just like really healthy. And then there's no gap, no women of 40, 50, 60, boom, it's off onto the babushka. So it's a young girl or a really sort of overweight, unhealthy looking older woman who looks like she's in her 70s perhaps. Well, this has changed. You've got a lot of beautifully groomed, fantastic, stylish, mature women who are Russian and not trying to look younger than they are. I think Italians do it perfectly as well, women as well as men. Older Italian men look fantastic. They have a crazy sense of style. It's just amazing to look at. And I'm happy to say that this trend is catching up, and it's quite obvious that people of a certain age start to care more about their health, and that shines through in their appearance. You take care of your teeth. You have money to take care of your teeth. You take care of your hair. You can dye it in a very beautiful sort of silver gray and match it with all of the beautiful clothes that you've acquired and accumulated throughout your life already, and just develop this incredible mature style. That's a thing. You have older women who look great these days in Russia. Waxing the upper lip. It's an interesting one. I actually have to wax my upper lip, and I do it sometimes because I get like dark hair over here. Just over here. It's grown back. So I do that. We do wax our upper lips. Maybe we don't openly talk about it that much, but yeah, it's a thing. It happens. I do it at home as well. I don't have to go anywhere because it's really easy. Then what else? Oh, shampoo every day. Again, a thing of the past. These amazing, like everyone's obsessed with organic, expensive, cool, beautifully packaged bottle. Russians are like that. We like shiny, bright, new, beautiful things. We are. So these days, I think it's quite fashionable to do the whole kind of, oh no, this is an organic shampoo, so I only wash my hair like twice a year because that's what the packaging says and that's what we do. I wash my hair. I try to wash my hair every 4 days. So I like to keep 3 days of not washing my hair in between. Then I get this sort of natural curl and it stays nice and soft. But if I wash it every day, it turns into a mop. Russian manicures, that's a thing. It still exists. And it's been branded the Russian manicure. Europeans who've tried it want more of it, can't find it in Europe. It's virtually impossible. I don't know any salon in the States or in Europe that can do a Russian manicure unless it's a Russian salon. I'm of it myself these days because I like a naturally looking nail, but that's because I do a lot of art as well, and it's just like wasting money if I get my nails done and then I'm all covered in paint and it's a messy business. But it's great to see on other people. It's very beautiful. Perfect. Like you don't have a scratch or anything on your nails. It's just impeccable. Fake nails. I think fake anything is always a big no-no, but you know, you draw the line. Some people enjoy it, and if television and cinema production is involved, like everything has to be fake because the camera just doesn't take any natural hair volume or skin tone or anything. It just ruins everything. You look like scraggly all the time. It's weird, but I don't know. I don't like fake. I'm against it. Moving on. Kamet Dahan, 38, Israeli. Actually a beautician, so we're going to trust this person. She says, there are two extremes among Russian women. Some put all their energy into education and their own development and have little interest in their personal appearance, while others spend too much on their appearance and they do it quite well. Russians are very well informed in everything cosmetics, makeup, and skincare. Yes, true. For an average Israeli woman, it's enough to just put some moisturizer on her face in the morning, while a Russian woman would use an entire range of cosmetic products, including regular facial masks, peeling creams, salon procedures, etc. Russian women also start to use anti-aging creams at an early age, which is an advantage. And it's true. I'm really glad that I was a TV presenter at the time, and the women who used to do my makeup for the program, and I used to do it every day, they told me that I have to start using an anti-aging cream at the age of 25, which seems pretty early, but they were like, you have to use it as a preventive measure. And I did. And look at me, I'm 35, and I have to say, I get this a lot. People do think that I look younger than they expect, but it's not a virtue. We're allowed to look any age that we are, but it does help keep your skin toned if it's moisturized well. Moving on. At the same time, many women wear heavy evening makeup in the morning. They used to, as if they're going clubbing. I think it's unnecessary. I'd recommend they temper their fervor somewhat. I totally agree. It's not a thing. It's not a thing anymore. You would rarely see a Russian woman anywhere at work or in the streets or anything wearing heavy makeup unless it's a morning after situation. Yeah. But yeah, this used to happen. It doesn't anymore. I spent a year in Paris, as you know, for work, and I really loved how the Parisian women did it. It's just brilliant. So they have this beautiful sense of office to party where it's all the same. You ruffle up your hair a little bit, you put on some red lipstick and you're off and you look gorgeous. So don't wear red lipstick to work, but keep it in your bag so that you can use it for the evening. I think it's absolutely perfect. It's a great trick. It's so easy. And if it's the right shade of red, you just need to find the right shade of red. Even if you think that you don't suit it, it means you haven't found your red. And that's it. But don't wear evening makeup during the day. It's just, it looks like you're a professional. Do you know what I mean? This 32 German lady, who is an economist, had this to say. I came to Russia 8 years ago, and my first impression was that there is a competition going on here over men. Most women, therefore, looked very well groomed to me, elegantly dressed, although sometimes too provocatively, with stylish hair but too much makeup. The latter, I think, was their main flaw. When she says these days, she means what happened 10 years ago. However, Russian women don't look much different than their European counterparts. Though sometimes I'm surprised to see women wearing mini skirts and high heels when it's a freezing 20 degrees outside, minus 20 degrees centigrade outside. Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore either. You would rarely see a Russian woman wearing high heels in the streets these days. Like, it's all flats. Stylish flats, gorgeous flats, really trendy flats, but flats. We don't do heels in the metro. That would probably indicate that it's someone from a city outside, like way outside the Moscow region. She continues, what I like about Russian women is their ability to emphasize their strengths. Even their fake nails look good. So see, we've got a bit of a contradicting opinion here. But evening makeup in the morning is annoying. It looks out of place. Russian women also have a weakness for sweet perfume, which is irritating. In other words, I'd recommend Russian women to use makeup more sparingly in their desire to seduce someone. Men, after all, appreciate a natural look. Is that true? Are you a man? Let me know. I want to know. Because I was sometimes blamed for looking a little bit too natural, which some people find unattractive. They think I don't put an effort in. I do. I'm just super ugly without all of this. Wanted to say something about the perfume. That's true. And I want to, like, if I have any authority at all, I'd say it's a no-no. And these big bottles, they actually mean that you leave them at home. You spray some perfume on and that stays at home. You don't carry those in your bag. You don't walk around with your perfume no matter how you like and enjoy it. That stays because you don't have to smell like a perfume shop. That just feels like you're covering up. Take a shower. Don't do that. 34 Hungarian business director at Low Burnett. Ah, interesting. Marketing, advertising, creativity. Russian women are very beautiful and look well groomed. I can always tell a Russian woman abroad. They're always concerned about their makeup and clothes, even if they're going to the beach. True, I've seen Russian women wear heels to the beach. Well, at the same time, Russian women use heavy foundation creams on their faces, especially in the winter, to protect their skin from cold and icy winds. Actually, a terrible advice. Again, my makeup artists used to tell me never to do that. You never put cream on before exiting your warm apartment and exiting into the freezing cold outside. Ever. Like, put cream on later at work, or put it like an hour before you exit, because otherwise that just stretches your skin in terrible directions and it's really bad for you. So that's what I heard and that's what I've done, and look at me. I've also noticed that Russian women love all things natural, and almost everyone has a recipe for her grandma's homemade cream. We did a video on that. Have you seen? I put like lots of disgusting stuff on my face when we filmed that, so it's well worth watching just to see me humiliate myself. Meanwhile, there are very few classical spa salons in Russia, and banya seems to be the only alternative. True, not true. So many spa options in Moscow these days, from moderately priced places to extremely expensive, world-class, and actually world chain salons that you can enjoy with all kinds of procedures. So that's a thing. We've got lots of spa salons, but the banya is a cheaper alternative, and yeah, it's very healthy. I've been doing the banya for what, 2.5 months now. Every week I'm going to the banya this evening after we finish this stream. I'm really looking forward to it because it's actually one of those places where you're just like popping your black spots, etc. Everything sweats out and it's good. The banya is good, but I love a good spa as well. That's actually something that I would really like to indulge in when lockdown is over and it's safe to let other people touch you. Yeah, so that's that. Spa, banya, what else? Foundation. I think I've covered all of that. So see, some of these things stayed, but most of them are a thing of the past. Heavy makeup, as in evening style makeup during the day, no. High heels during the day out in the streets, no. Lots of perfume, yes. Sometimes, like, the best of us do it. That still happens. Fake everything. I think, like everywhere, really fake nails and hair extensions that show and all of these kind of things, they're an indicator of a certain lower level of class. So not something that you would see at work as a journalist, I suppose. Also, I remember this, and it was a British and English friend who taught me this, that they have a saying, the higher the heel, the lower the class. And that stuck with me. And that was in a conversation where we were actually discussing whether or not excessive grooming shows off that you have too much free time on your hands and you're not smart enough, basically, because you don't spend that time educating, self-educating, reading, working, creating, etc. And that's a big issue with me. It feels like, and it was mentioned by one of the ladies in this article as well, that you have to take sides or at least tone down, not to look like someone who spends 23 hours out of 24 hours a day on, I don't know, self presentation rather than actual interesting stuff like work, for example, because work's interesting. We all love to work. But that's that, yes. And that's that article. We have a newer one. It's quite recent and it's on our website. You can check it out because it has all the numbers there. And the writer actually explores in details just how much Russian women spend on grooming, and that's what it's called. Like, why do Russian women spend so much on beauty treatments? So you can have a look at that article, because we also spoke to a psychologist for that. Her name's Irina Ryzhkova, and she says that the reason behind this excessive spending on personal care is an inferiority complex. And Russian women have that because they're trying to shake it off with the help of cosmetics. I'm going to read the full quote from her, from this psychologist. It's a little hurtful because, I mean, I'm a Russian woman. I don't want to come across as someone with an inferiority complex, but she has a point. And I'm going to take it a little bit further in this, during this stream as well, because she's talking about women literally covering up in cosmetics, and then that's going to take another turn a little later on, so bear with me. She says, Irina Ryzhkova says, Soviet women were valued not for their beauty, but hard work. Modesty in everything was elevated to a virtue. Girls were told to study and work diligently and not to be beautiful. Few people mollycoddled them with the words, you're beautiful, you're a princess, although that's very important. All this gives rise to self-doubt. Today, many Russian women use makeup and self-care to cultivate love for themselves and become better and more confident. No one should blame them for this. They need time, and encouragement. So I think that's a very healthy approach, and a very kind one towards this whole, oh, why are Russian women spending so much money and effort on all of this? If you check out Russian podcasts, if you speak Russian, you will like uncover this secret den of self-love, self-help, women unite, sisterhood, mothers unite, etc. Women just trying to overcome a huge stigma that all of us have been facing due to a kind of two-sided effect of Soviet patriarchy. You know what I mean? We have a video about this, about women's rights, and two very good videos on Russia Beyond that we did, and both of them state that although women in the Soviet Union had the same rights as men, they were also obliged to do all of the home duties, and it was like a double shift. That's what our mothers and grandmothers faced, and that's what we were brought into as young women as well. It was never an issue for me to work or not to work. I knew I had to, because that's what women do. We work, we have a career, and on top of that, we have to have children and take care of them, and on top of that, stay presentable. It's like a never-ending list of things that you have to do and function. And when you're only a function, this, that, mother, manager, sexual object, etc., you lose yourself. And in order to find yourself, you actually have to spend time with yourself. And this whole grooming process could well be a path to self-loving and self-care. So it's very complex, not stupid at all. Also, something to take into account is that in Russia, there are more women than men. Still, all of these wars have passed, the revolution has passed, all of this is way behind us, the Soviet Union collapsed, still, for about 1,000 men, there will be 1,100 something women. And of course, this creates competition, definitely. But yeah. What was my point? What did I want to say? Where did I want to take this? This creates competition. Women are a little bit insecure and are looking for ways to actually become happier about themselves. And they used to use a lot of makeup. Now that's shifted towards grooming. So instead of covering something up, caking yourself up and pretending to be something that you're not, you're trying to shine from the inside. We're going to get to that. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. First, I wanted to take you down the historical route, because that's what I love to do here. I love to tell you what things were like several centuries ago. Because I'm a nerd. And with beauty standards changing all the time globally and changing within centuries massively. Remember that video? If you've been watching for a while, you've seen me do a video where I'm wearing crazy Russian headgear and my face is completely white and rosy cheeks, and I had to put contact lenses in for that video for the first time in my life. That was like a nightmare, with huge black pupils. I think that was like a 17th century beauty that we tried to recreate. 17th or 16th, I don't know. Ajan's going to help me out in the comment section if she remembers. But anyway, it was radical, and foreigners were always fascinated by this whole Russian women beauty standard situation that was going on here on the continent. And there's a fantastic book about Russian women in history, and this is like the 10th and 12th century that we're talking about, by Natalia Pushkareva and Eve Levin. And yeah, it basically talks about how women looked back then. I think this might be a little bit later on, but Like, bear with me. This is fun. This is the 16th, 17th centuries. Muscovite fashion in the 16th and 17th centuries demanded that women literally hide their natural beauty beneath heavy powder, bright rouge, often derived from beets, so organic, eyebrows and lashes darkened with antimony, and eyelids shadowed in blue up to the temples. And even to put drops in the eyes to dilate the pupils and give them more depth and expressiveness. Basically, women looked high. Some of the cosmetics fashionable women used were injurious to their health, not to mention damaging to their skin. The court physician Samuel Collins listed the harmful substances in Russian women's makeup, which included mercury compounds, ochre, bismuth, and soot, which was mixed with water and used to outline eyes and brows. Most horrifying to many Europeans was the Muscovite custom of coloring the teeth black. Collins interpreted this fashion as making a virtue out of necessity because of the lack of vitamins and calcium. Russians' teeth tended to be discolored, and Russian women tried to whiten them with powdered mercury compounds. This process eventually caused their teeth to decay and also had a deleterious effect on their health in general. And then women would rub their teeth with a black substance so that the decayed teeth could not be distinguished from the healthy ones. I remember doing that. We rubbed my teeth with an eye pencil for that video. Yeah, watch it. I mean, I didn't do it for nothing. Didn't suffer for nothing. So that's, the 16th and 17th century. I like the thought that we always loved a heavy brow, and we still do here in Russia. I think it's a distinct kind of Slavic look when you have light hair, but dark eyebrows and dark eyelashes. And I'm going to get to the standard Russian makeup kind of look these days, which is, well, different, I suppose, because all Russians are different and Russian women are different. I mean, you've got like really trendy teenagers who do like crazy eyes and black lips, and that looks great. But I think if you like do the pop version, the very kind of basic bitch version of what's cool and what women like to do, I think, number one, there's definitely less of it. And we're talking about earthly tones, a kind of natural look. And it's fashionable all over the world right now, obviously including Russia. Think the Kardashians. Now, there's nothing natural about them. Like, they've undergone tons of operations, and when their faces are in these kind of nude tones, there's like 27 nude tones on the face and then 5 lip shades on the lips, but it all looks overall quite muted. So that's what I'm getting at. It's not that it's a completely natural look because there's no makeup or hardly any makeup involved, although that's what I do, but it's more of a, you spend an effort to look natural. And also there's a trend on self-care. So at the moment, everyone's absolutely crazy about face yoga, face massage, gua sha. It's like this, I think it's Chinese. It's like a precious stone, quartz maybe, that you use to rub your face, and then this thing that you use these cold stones and you rub your face. Everyone's gone completely gaga for those things. I also don't have one to show you because I'm lazy like that, but apparently they're quite nice and they work. And that's what you can do at home, and then you can go to spa procedures and do super complicated treatments like the article stated at home, like you'd have a little cream for this part of your face and then a little cream for that part of your face, and know exactly what they do, etc., which requires so much time and effort spent into actually finding out. You can get a secondary education with all that time. But anyway, and if if a plastic surgeon is involved, or any needles or anything like that, the result has to remain unseen to spectators. So that's still something that women do a lot, but it has to look natural. Going under the knife was fashionable, and I suppose showed off wealth in the early 2000s, when you could actually see that something was done to that face, but not anymore, not in Russia. It's seen as it's not appealing anymore to anyone. And makeup trends follow suit. So an even tone, a kind of matte lip, a natural brow, and shiny hair are a sort of Russian girl staple. And I'm going to emphasize this because never scraggly. So it has to be shiny, blown out hair, maybe straightened, maybe blown out with these new devices that cost like my life, to make your hair look really healthy, and fantastic nails. So that's what would set a Russian girl apart from any other girl in the world, even if they're dressed in the exactly same trendy, fashionable clothes, etc. But yeah, scraggly hair is just a no-no here, which I'm fighting against with my scraggly hair, because my hair is naturally quite wavy and it lives a life of its own, and I have no intention of straightening it or turning it into anything that it is not. So there we go. I wanted to show you the makeup that I brought with me into self-isolation. It's going to be very easy because I didn't take much. I do like to take care of my eyebrows, it's true. So I have a pencil, which is an eyebrow pencil. There's a pencil on one side and a kind of eyebrow brush on the other side. And I use this. I bought this pencil last year because the pencil of this exact shade and exact same brand was finished. It's that small, and I used it for 15 years. So I'm conservative. I have a new pencil right now, and it's going to stay with me for a while. This is an eyebrow gel by a Russian brand, by the way, and it's something that I use on top of my eyebrows after I paint them. Because my eyebrows, like the hairs in my eyebrows, are quite long, they tend to get bushy if I don't notice. I do this only when I record, actually, because the camera is a slightly different issue. Like the camera needs a bit more attention. When I'm with you from our studio, because we have full-on studio lights there, I use powder and a foundation. I don't here because I don't have it, and I don't care for it much because I think it damages the skin and I don't want any of that. I have a mascara, which again is a very kind of simple and basic mascara that I can later on wash off with water. All of my makeup is super simple so that I can take it off really simply. I hate the whole routine of having like 55,000 products to apply and then take off, because I think that eats into my time. And this is a really cool product, which is sort of like multifunctional. I like these when you can do anything with it. I use it as a lip tint, and before summer started and I was like a wonderfully pale green color because we didn't have any sunshine for what, 9 months. I used it on my cheeks a little bit as well, and that's it. Don't have anything else here. I miss my red lipstick, but I kind of miss the idea of my red lipstick. I wouldn't have anywhere to wear it here, but I love a good red lip when I'm in Moscow, and it's brilliant for TV and it's really good for going out. But yeah, I don't have it here with me, and this one's really light. I'm wearing it right now, you can tell. It's not. Yeah. So that's that. And I think there's more emphasis. I've brushed upon this subject. I'm going to talk more about it now. There's more emphasis at the moment at looking healthy, and it has something to do with finance as well, because it's much cheaper to buy a foundation and cake yourself in makeup than it is to actually invest into a skin care routine, into visiting a spa salon, a dermatologist, eating well, sleeping well, doing exercise, drinking lots of water, because that's what in the long term actually enhances your appearance. Dental care, again, is not cheap and is something that gives away, I suppose, your financial and health status immediately. So we just spoke about these poor ladies of the 16th and 17th century who lost all their teeth too early and had to blacken them. Again, something that I see people are really obsessed with these days, making sure that they wear braces and get their teeth whitened. And if you go and check out that article that I told you about earlier on, the one that lists in exact sums of money translated into US dollars for anyone from everywhere to understand, it states like dental care, etc. Dental care here in Russia is much cheaper than in Northern Europe or the States, for example, or in Great Britain, but still, in accordance with how much Russians make, it's still an expensive issue if you start venturing into it. And you know how it is with the dentist, right? You go in and then you never go out with nothing wrong. Something's always wrong and it's expensive to fix it. So that's the deal. Anyway, we now know that Russian ladies take care of themselves because they want to love themselves more, and the more they love themselves, the less they invest into things that make them look sexual, like being scantily dressed, wearing high heels, wearing evening makeup during the day. That's all leaving the scene, and we're seeing a much more natural, sophisticated look these days. And my personal favorite is that we see lots and lots of women of age who look fantastic. I'm happy to say that's true. And it's not just because I'm going to be a woman of age in 5 years, but also because of that, yeah. Now I'm going to read your comments out and answer everything I can. Leon Hoke. Hi Anna, do you know when I can enter Russia again, because I really want to visit Ekaterinburg? It's a good question. I see my friends flying in and out for work on their social media, but I have no clue, to be honest, whether or not foreigners can enter or exit. I think, yeah, I could only Google for you, but I'm sure you can try and Google yourself. I'll try and find out. Lady Fluffcakes, hello from Los Angeles. How are you there? Like, my heart goes out to America, by the way. I didn't say this, but I'm so sorry, guys, you're going through all of this. And yeah, sending you some love from Russia. Tiffany Adventures, hi, what's Russian culture beauty standards, like simple makeup or glam? Well, these days, that's what I'm saying. It's like this mix of simple makeup and glam. Like, think of the Kardashians. It's sort of like, it looks simple, but you probably spent an hour on it. And as everywhere else, there's the kind of indie alternative culture, which is like nude face, less makeup. It's the book that you're carrying in your bag that counts, and that shows whether or not you're sexy and interesting, right? As everywhere. Tiffany Adventures, is tan or fair fake tan the Russian beauty trend? I think the trend is natural tan when it's season appropriate. So it would be really silly walking around Russia looking orange in the middle of November, for example. And also, because it's so gray and glum, it doesn't look nice. Do you know what I mean? Like, a tan looks good when there's bright sunshine out. There used to be so many tanning parlors when I was a university student. Everyone did it. It was super fashionable. I used to go, and then we realized that it's really bad for your skin and dangerous. They've closed, so it's not a trend anymore, I'd say. Lewis, it was a bet or something like that. I don't know if this comment is addressed to me. I can't tell. Maria Soto, I do wax my upper lip too. So there's nothing wrong with waxing your upper lip. There's nothing wrong with walking around with a bit of a tash, a lady tash. That's what I'm doing these days. I don't know if you can see it. It's quite like, it reminds me of my granny. Like she had a full-on mustache, and it's like a family heirloom, I suppose. There's nothing wrong with the mustache. Pierre, we want in Russia. My sons were always. Then they cross Russian girls. I don't think I understand this, but it sounds like a Japanese hokku. It's quite poetic. Irina Yagodinskaya, if I can give you all an advice, do not make yourselves a permanent straighten in your hair. It doesn't look really straight, and its damage is so bad. Yeah, probably. I'm really blessed because my hair isn't curly enough for me to be curly and to want to straighten it, and it's not straight enough for me to actually want to curl. Somewhere in the middle, and I'm really content. But I know that if you have like really strong curls, you always want to see your hair straight and vice versa. It's an existential question, isn't it? In the end of the day. Laurel H, I can't believe you're 35. In America, women at 35 can look like middle-aged already. Not all of them. Like I've been to the States to lots of different events with like these high-flying media and advertising, incredible creative women who are way over their 50s looking amazing. It's the American women who actually inspired me to take better care of myself, if anything, to be honest. Like I'm at this conference, I think it was Promax or something like that. And yeah, I think it was Promax in Los Angeles. And these ladies who are influential, super rich, super smart, they're sitting there, they're having a public talk on the scene, and I notice that their legs, their bare legs, are covered in shimmer to make them look better on stage. And I'm like, this is amazing. You're so smart. You're so incredible. And you take the time to put shimmer on your legs for them to look beautiful on stage. I thought that was so cool. And then Pharrell Williams came out, you know, the musician, and he was wearing Crocs with socks. Crocs. I'm wearing Crocs right now, actually. Like, see? Yeah, I needed to share that with you. Like, just the extent of my grooming. Tony Long, as a guy, I prefer a natural look. Thank you for answering that question, by the way. That was my question. I wanted to know. Don't fall for the cosmetic industry hype. Most women radiate natural beauty of one kind or another. That's my point. All humans do, men as well. Morpheus Maximus, I came here by accident and I thought it was a Russian matchmaking channel. We should do that. Yes. Russian matchmaking channel. That'd be great. We'll come over again. We're going to stream on next Thursday, Morpheus. Irina Yagodinska, they make us believe we're worthless after turning 30, and we invest so much time and money trying to look younger and attractive. Well, I'm 5 years into being worthless, and I love it. But I get what you mean. No, of course, humans and women are not worthless after turning 30. Only better. And I think that there was a blog that really inspired me. It's called Advanced Style. I think it must be like nearly 20 years now, that blog. But when it appeared, I was mesmerized by the beauty of mature women and how cool your style can be and how you can get away with things that you can't as a younger human. It doesn't even concern women that much. It's just that you can be eccentric and you can you actually shine through. It's the baggage of your knowledge and of your, I don't know, heart that shines through with age, and that's what counts. And I thought, well, why wait until I turn 75 for that to happen? I'm actually going to do it now. And I think that in my 20s, I really shifted my focus from trying to make myself up and make myself look pretty. And I said, I want to learn to be me. It was a turning point. I was still a TV presenter, and I stopped allowing makeup artists to like paint over my face to make it look like someone else's face. So the makeup was gone, and I stopped using hair products as well, without the, like, you know, the TV helmet, the news anchor helmet, the hair that doesn't move, that looks just weird. So that was gone as well. And it was very therapeutic, really helped. And there, I like the highly made up look though. Russian women put a lot of effort into their appearance. I agree. And they work out a lot as well and diet so much. Flavia Nombra, I think what you're describing of being a mother, manager, and sexual being, etc., is common in many places. I experienced the same, and I'm Brazilian. It's tough, isn't it? It's like you have to, you can't just be good enough. You always have to be best at everything. Otherwise, you're scrutinized. And this whole feeling of being watched over, of being under scrutiny, of almost like you're constantly graded for something. That's what it feels like being a woman. Maria Soto, I'm 17. Should I start to wear makeup? At what age do Russian women start using makeup? It's different for everyone. If you're 17, I wouldn't use any makeup at all. Start wearing makeup when you feel like it, and experiment and enjoy yourself. It's only for you. It's for you to have fun. It's not for the boys to like. It's not for all makeup bottles have a little picture of a tiny little makeup bottle on them with a number. It's usually 6 or 12 or 18. That's the number of Tony Long. At the end of the day, shouldn't a woman either make up or play things down based on whatever makes her herself? I don't see that anything else matters. Golden, exactly, bingo. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's almost like an answer to Flavia. Laurel H. I wish Americans could travel to Russia soon. My fiance waits for me in Moscow. Oh, guys, long distance. I'm so sorry for you. Like, sending you all of my love and night soon, and video chatting. I know what that is. I've been in long distance relationships. Sometimes it hurts even more than just not seeing each other. I'm really sorry for you. And we've got Larkfest. Question for Anna. Greetings from Australia. I was planning to visit Moscow in May. Quicker to either wait for planes to fly again or to swim? It's a really good question. Oh, yeah, swimming. I think that I know that Airflot has plans to resume flight in July. So I think that's going to happen at some point, and I hope we'll safely return to some kind of normalcy, the world and us, right? Because I feel like I'd like to have an option of seeing my friends and maybe going to be sad as well. There's nothing better for your skin tone, hair, and overall appearance than and going to the banya, which I'm going to do in about 20 minutes or so, because time's up. Thanks so much for being with us. A big hug and a big thank you to Ayjan for being amazing and preparing this topic for us as always, and the previous one. I'm really glad that you enjoyed that one too. We're going to see you next Thursday. I'm still going to be here because we're still, our offices are still working from home. And yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, leave more comments. We're going to go through them next time. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye, and a big hug to all of you.